Hey, I'm Gene Crouch with Keller Williams Realty Group here at Lake Wedowee, and today we're bringing another one of our Why Not Wedowee. Today we got Coty Brown, and he is a corporal with the Marine Police here in Lake Wedowee. And I just thought it'd be pretty appropriate, since it's pretty close to the 4th, that we talk a little bit about safety and what they need to do, Coty. So if you want to just jump in there and talk a little bit about some of the things that you think could help them.
All right, well, some of the things we're going to talk about on first is requirements as far as what you need on the boat. A couple things we're going to look for if we stop you this time. We're going to look for your boat registration certificate. It's got to be on board at all times. We also want to see your driver's license. I know a lot of people don't want to carry their driver's license because they're afraid they're going to drop them in the water. Get you some kind of little Loctite seal package or something like that that'll float, because you got to have it on board. If not, that is a citation that we can't issue. Also, we want to see if you're an Alabama resident, you got to have the vessel endorsement on your license. The way we do the law here, it's 12 and 13 can drive with a vessel endorsement as long as they have someone that is 21 or older with a vessel endorsement on the boat with them. Okay. 14 can drive by themselves once they have a vessel license. But you have to have that. Now, Georgia law, they require a little different, but now if they're under 16, they have to have a card through Georgia. And we're going to need to see that card if they're out here driving. If they're driving and they don't have that card, there will be a citation issued to the parents of the person that's driving. So just a little touching on that, because I know that's one of our issues here. We're having a lot of young kids on jet skis that are out here by themselves, and so we're fixing to crack down real big on that.
All right, so they got to be 14 to drive by themselves on a jet ski.
In the state of Alabama with a vessel endorsement driver's license.
Well, good. I didn't know that. I've been telling my kids, we got grandkids, and I thought it was 12. Well, thanks for it.
Yeah, 12 and 13 can drive with a licensed driver over 21.
Okay.
And then 14 can drive by themselves if you allow it. Also, we need to see a life jacket for everybody on board. Now, when I say life jacket for everybody on board, it's got to be serviceable life jackets, no rips, tears. It also has to be a proper size. We count them out. We don't want to see a grown person holding a kid's life jacket because it's not going to count.
That's right.
Also, children under the age of 8 has to have a life jacket on at all times. Whether you're tied up at the dock or whatever, we prefer you just go ahead and have that on. We also want to see a Type 4 throwable. It can either be a throw cushion or a ring buoy. A lot of people ask, it is not required by law to have any kind of rope attached to that, even though a lot of people ask that. Right. It's a good practice to have in case you overthrow it, but it's not required by law. We also need to see a sound device. Most of the boats now come with a horn. If not, we need to see a whistle, air horn, something like that as far as a sound device. Also, vessels less than 24 foot with a greater than 50 horsepower, open top, they got to have a kill switch attached when they're running. I'm not going to push it too much as far as idle speed zones, but once you get out of them idle speed zones, you better have that kill switch attached. If something happens, if you're thrown from the vessel, you've got the problem.
Sure. Well, that's a good.
So just make sure to have that. Also, it's good if you did have somebody accidentally fall overboard. It's a lot easier to pull that than it is to try to cut that boat off. So we also need to see a Class B fire extinguisher. That's the type of fire extinguisher you have to have on the vessel.
Okay.
So just talking a little bit about as far as people sitting on the boats, one of the problems I always see is people sitting with their hips above the gunnels of the boat. Now when I say that, they got to be seated down inside the vessel. If we see anybody sitting on the outside of the railings or anything like that, we're going to stop you. We're going to address the problem, because that is a serious problem, especially on these pontoon boats. I see it all the time, people with their feet dangling over. If you were to fall overboard, you're going straight to the engine. Right. So just make sure all your passengers are inside the vessel. Some of the other things, make sure you pay attention to the idle speed zones. We're having real big problems with these, especially in our marinas. These are hefty fines. They're there for a reason. They're there for people's safety, also for safety of the other vessels that are docked and gas docks and all this. So make sure you pay close attention to these buoys and your markers. Also make sure you pay attention to your hazard markers. They're there for a reason. If you get too close to it, you're going to hit something. So just make sure you keep these in mind.
Coty, what about we got the 4th coming up? There will be lots of fireworks and all that. So what would you recommend? What do we need to do to be a little extra careful at night?
Just make sure, I know people want to come out and have a good time, make sure you have a sober driver for these fireworks shows. As everybody that was out there last year, we had a lot of people. There was a lot of people out, and there was a lot of wake. Make sure you check your lights before you come to the fireworks show. So make sure these lights are working and keep a check on them, because they have been known to go out. If it's fixing to be dark and you have a light out, we need to address the issue there, and if you can't get it fixed, you need to go on in. There's a lot of times at night, that's what our accidents happen, is people's not seeing each other on the waters because of the lights being out. And it gets real dark on that end of the lake. There's not many houses down there, so it's very dark on the the lower end. But just make sure you have these lights. I didn't bring them with me today, but you can go to Walmart or Academy Sports, Dick's Sporting Goods, and they sell what we call Kim lights. They got red, green, and white. These are not for you to say you check your lights before you come out to the fireworks show and you say, well, it ain't working, I'm going to use this. No, this is only a safety deal to get you back home. So, but try to get one of those because that's better than nothing.
Sure.
Because we want to make sure that you're seen out there. But just be safe, have a good time, watch your overloaded vessels. Make sure if it's ready for 10 people that you only have 10 people on the vessel. It also counts for the people you have on your tube because we're seeing that a lot, especially with jet skis. 3-person jet skis, and they'll have 3 on the tube and 3 on the jet ski. You're overloaded. But
that's a good point. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, we appreciate you coming by and meeting with us today, and we appreciate what you do. I mean, you give us a great service, good guy. He's there all the time. He's looking out for our safety, and that's what this is all about. He's worried about us being safe out there. So, anyway, thanks again. Thanks, Coty, for coming by and talking to us. If you got any questions, call me or try to get a hold of Coty, and we'd love to help you. And everybody be safe out there on the 4th.
And just one more thing, if you do have an issue, call 911 or Star HP, and they will get you who you need out there. So.
Great point. Great point. Thank y'all.